Okay, today I'll be presenting the Gini coefficient and the Lorenz curve. The Lorenz curve is how we graphically represent the relative size distribution of income. So how we construct the Lorenz curve, the first thing that we need to do is draw a square. Then we need to connect the opposite corners of the square by drawing a 45-degree line in between. And this represents perfect income equality. On the horizontal axis, we're going to write the percentage of families ordered from lowest to highest. So I'll just say percent of families. And on the vertical axis, we are going to write the percent of income received by these families. So the Lorenz curve is going to be below this line of equality, and this right here represents inequality. Lorenz curves can be used to compare income distributions and assess the relative degree of income inequality. So a more bowed out Lorenz curve, so let's say this Lorenz curve right here represents country A. A more bowed out Lorenz curve, let's say this is Lorenz curve for country B, will represent more income inequality. So in this case, country B represents more income inequality. And Lorenz curves can actually show inequality across countries or across time. So let's see. Now we're going to associate the Gini coefficient into this. And the Gini coefficient is a measure of inequality of a distribution. It was devised by Gini in 1912. So I'm going to take out country A real quick. And we're just going to use this Lorenz curve for country B. So let me just erase this. So the Gini coefficient equals this proportion right here, A, over A plus B. And that should equal a number between 0 and 1. 0 represents perfect income equality, and 1 would represent perfect income inequality, or complete income inequality. And so basically, this country, now I'm going to draw, okay, so now I'm going to draw back in country A. So country B should have a higher Gini coefficient than country A because it represents or reflects more income inequality. All right, now I'm going to, let's see, here's my little bag. Now I'm going to construct a Gini coefficient problem that relates different periods and people's incomes, and we're going to see which one would have the lowest Gini coefficient. So let's say we're going to write out 5 people's names. So let's say Thomas, Nina, Becky, Rose, Charlie. And we're going to do this across 4 periods. So we'll say period 1, let's just make this P1, P2, P3, P4. And let's see period 1, let's say we have Thomas makes 50K, Nina makes 40K, 30K, Becky 20K, 10K. Let's say in period 2, Thomas makes 40K, Mia makes 40K. Becky makes 30K. And Rose and Charlie both make 20K. And let's say for period 3, we've got 60K, 40K, 30, 20, and 0. And then let's say for period 4, we go 100K, 80K, 60K, 40K, 20K. So we're trying to figure out which period represents the lowest Gini coefficient. So let's take the first period. Let's say the difference between the highest value and the lowest value is 40K. For period 2, the difference between the highest value and the lowest value is 20K. For period 3, it is 60K. And for period 4, it is 80K. So this means that period 2 would have the lowest Gini coefficient because it has the least income inequality. And then I'm going to do one more Gini coefficient problem to end out this presentation. Okay, I'm going to draw a Lorenz curve again. This is A, this is B. Okay, let's say that country X, let's say the area, let's say for country X, the area of A is equal to 0.5. And the area of B is equal to 1.5. And then let's say for country Y, let's say the area of A is 0.75 and the area of B equals 1.75. So we want to calculate the Gini coefficients of both of these countries. Gini coefficient for country X and Y. And we want to determine which country represents more inequality. So as we know, Gini coefficient, G, equals A over A plus B. So let's see, if country X, A is 0.5 and B is 1.5, that is equal to 0.5 over 1.5 plus 0.5, which is 0.5 over 2, which equals 0.25. And then let's say for country Y, so let's see, A equals 0.75. So we're going to do 0.75 over 0.75 plus 1.75. And this equals 0.30. So we can see that country Y has the greater amount of income inequality because it has a greater Gini coefficient. And that's about all for the Lorenz curve and the Gini coefficient.